After Max Verstappen's record-breaking 2022 campaign and a dominating Constructors' title victory, the RB19 had a tough act to follow this year, but the world champion hoped it would carry him and Oracle Red Bull Racing to even greater success.
My first impression with the RB19 was very good. Of course, we already had last year's car, which felt very nice at the end of the year. I jumped in the car and it all felt very nice, but I've had previous years where I thought, yeah, this feels pretty good, but then we were too slow. You know, it was still not there. That's why I'm always a little bit careful in winter testing, where it can all feel amazing, but you don't know what the competition has done. But my first impressions were good. Everything was working really nicely.
The RB19's lighter chassis and improved aerodynamics resulted in impressive tyre performance, and it carried the three-time champion to 12 pole positions, 9 fastest laps, and an incredible 19 victories.
The feeling in the RB19 from day one to now has been pretty similar in terms of handling, but it's just become quicker. A bit more grip here and there, but the balance of the car has been fairly similar, which I think is a nice thing. It's all about just steady progress. We knew from last year the car was a bit heavy, so that was the first thing that we had to tackle, and that's what we did as a team. And from there onwards, I think once you hit the ground running really well and you know in what direction you have to develop, that helps a lot. And I think that's what we have been doing the last 2 years.
Adrian Newey's design proved almost unbeatable. With Sergio Perez adding 2 victories, the RB19 would win 21 of its 22 races, netting a record-breaking 860 Constructors' points.
It probably is my favorite RB just because of the amount of wins and the dominance in general of the car. I've driven a lot of nice Red Bull cars, even from 2016 to 18, 19, 20. They've all been really amazing cars to drive. Some were a bit more narrow, of course, with the different regulations, but it's definitely a great car right now. It also looks very different to how it looked like a few years ago, so they're always a bit hard to compare, but I mean, if you purely look against everyone else, it's definitely a very good car. We all know that, you know, a team in general with a strong car is the biggest differentiator, but I think the exciting bit is where then you can combine the driver with the car to see how high you can reach.
While Verstappen's 19 victories easily eclipsed Alberto Ascari's 75% win record set in 1952, the RB19's 95% ratio surpassed some of the greatest cars in F1 history and may never be beaten.
I hope that the RB19 will be remembered as a record breaker. I mean, it has done. I remember, of course, watching all the footage back in the day, in the late 80s, in the 90s, early 2000s. When you get older, especially, you start looking into also what they have achieved in a season. And you're like, my God, that's very, very impressive. And now that we are here, we've done even better than that. It's something, of course, we are very proud of.